Okay, so in this video, we're going to start with a process that that I used this morning for us. And just to give you an idea of it, I set the space up ahead of time using matrix energetics so that it's already done on some levels. You could kind of, it's kind of interesting to say that, but it makes things happen very quickly. I've seen miracles happen in an instant when I start with a client or a group. So by doing that, so it's become a habit of mine to do that. And I'm going to walk you through one version of it, but mostly it's going to be something that you can use over and over again. I'm making a recording for you, and you can and then share it if you like, but it's for you. So just for a moment, think about your heart's desire. Like if you could get your health back the way you want it, if you could get your life the way you want it, the abundance, the money, the relationships, what is it that you want? What do you want? And just put just to get an image of that. And if you had it just like you want it, and you didn't even have to work for it, it just effortlessly and easily came to you, what might that be? Having the health and the relationships and the money and the life and the lifestyle. That's right. Doing what you're here to do. Serving people the way you want to serve people at your highest level, at their highest level. Living the life you want. Get it just like you wanted. What might that be for you? Total perfected essence. Everything you want. And then it's done. We're going to upload into the source code. It's already done for you. I did this ahead of time. Rule sets, like the ancient yogis said, you know, the rules of the universe are more like suggestions. Whenever anyone interacts with you in any way, massive healing, massive transformation, massive change happens on all levels for their health, for your health, for your abundance, for their abundance, for their friends and family, for your friends and family. They know it, they experience it, they interact with you at their highest levels. They let everyone know. Your presence heals. Upload. And so what you can do is notice what you notice, and notice what's different today and over the days. And you can play this one over and over again. I'm also going to give you another recording that I made. A lot of you already have it. Another version of this setting the space up, or using matrix energetics to find that place in space and time where it's already done. Kind of like tuning in your phone to just the right URL with just the perfect information. There we go. So you can notice what you notice. In a little bit, we're going to do one-on-one sessions in our group, our Atomic Success Secrets group here. And because what I've noticed over the years of doing this is there's instant miracles that happen with what we just did. And it just amazes me. Some of they're just like out of just like, oh my goodness, how could that possibly be? But over and over again, I've seen it. And there's also been this experience that I had where I'll give you a short history of very short to show you what happened to me. And then we're going to go right to the special healing process with our group one-on-one. But when I was first interacting with integrative manual therapy, the work of Sharon Giammatteo, there was a point early on when I couldn't run for 8 months. And I had a calf spasm that wouldn't go away. And I tried orthotics, many different kinds of orthotics. I went to healers. I was taking cranial sacral classes, visceral manipulation classes. I was going to a therapist in Orange County, Gail Wetzler, who taught visceral manipulation, and everything was helping a little, but not really. 5 minutes of running and I couldn't run. And finally, I went to a therapist in Los Angeles, and she put one hand on my foot and said, "You got a problem with your heart." And she did some simple techniques. Well, they're simple. Now they're simple for me. At the time, it was pure magic. She worked on me for 2 hours on my heart, and my anxiety came very much down during that session. And 2 days later, I was in a class in Sacramento, and I took my running stuff because I thought, I think I'm going to be able to run. And I ran for 30 minutes along the American River Trail, and totally fine, and it never came back. Now, the next part of the story is I took 110 classes in that method over 10 years. And my anxiety, which was severe, and a severe sweaty hand problem went away. Like I no longer had sweaty hands, which was very, very good because this tormented me to no end. I mean, can you imagine a physical therapist putting their hands on somebody and you're sweating everybody? It was like a disaster. I was in so much shame and just fear. And like, oh my God, it's going to be really hot and that room is going to be so stuffy and I'm going to be putting my hands on people in the middle of class and they're all going to know I have so much anxiety. All that went away, completely went away. And that was a process of finding out like what else is going on besides my heart. And then I used to have cavities and root canals. And ever since I was 12, I had a root canal, and I was paying off a dentist thousands of dollars. And all that went away. And I quit having cavities, and decades now without cavities. So my teeth healed. Yeah, and so that was a process, but it was like, I was like, wow, this is where I'm going. And then I found matrix energetics. And that's when I found out how fast something can heal and how you can do it over the airwaves. And so I had to go down that road because it's like, oh my God, stuff can happen very fast. Very fast. And so there I was going down the matrix energetics route, and some stuff looked like it was a disaster. All of a sudden I couldn't run again. And I had 2 years of bone pain, severe bone pain, and depression, really, really, really deep depression. Not even just because I couldn't run, just this very darkness fell over me. And we were having a baby. And I was like, what the hell is happening? And I was doing all my matrix energetics and all my integrated manual therapy. And I was doing all my Qigong and everything. And I couldn't run more than just a couple minutes with severe pain. And so we found it. We found the answer and we found the remedy. And that led us down up to let go of San Diego and the physical therapy practice and go to Washington, where they didn't fluoridate the water. And we thought we were going to live a simple life out by this mountain. And but what happened was all of a sudden we couldn't live in our house because it was so toxic, mold and all sorts of other stuff. We couldn't believe it. We had spent our San Diego house nest egg to go live this simple life, and we had plenty of money to like be safe, and it was all going away, hundreds of thousands of dollars, over $100,000. And we slept outside for an entire year and made less than $20,000 for 2 years in a row. And I was like, what the heck happened to my life? And so then I had to figure out like, oh my God, I've been running to protect myself, to try to get away from this pattern of failure that I had seen in my parents. And so it was like, I had to clear this victim pattern. And so I cleared that. My wife told me, you got to get happy, man. And so I got happy. I figured out how to go get happy first. And then I had to figure out, well, how do I want to come back to the world and do this healing work in the world. I just don't know how to do the business side of this. And so I got a coach and I started like learning how to like talk to people and interact with people and find people from all over the world. And I had this dream when we first got to this little place out by the Mount Baker that I'd have a little campfire and some people would come visit me and maybe I'd do a little matrix energetics over the airwaves and simple life. And it's like, well, it wasn't quite like that. It was more like worldwide over the internet. And so it was bigger than I thought, but I had to clear this victim pattern and I had to learn the business side of it. And then something happened and I found this thing that we're going to do in just a little bit called the peace process. And we were figuring out how to like get ahead in the world and how to do stuff. And we had gotten to where we were making a few tens of thousands of dollars. It was like, it was working now. We had a coach and she had shown us how to like reach the world and we were starting to work. And then I found this peace process and I would wake up and do it. And Jen, my wife, was like, what are you doing? Because this is working. And I'm like, I'm doing this thing. It's hardly a meditation. And the one that that really got me like, oh my God, this is magic, man, was this doctor from Bellingham called me. And he said, hey, do you do Feldenkrais? It's a type of movement therapy from Moshe Feldenkrais, an Israeli guy. And I said, no, but I used to have Feldenkrais practitioners in San Diego. And he says, yeah, I see that. It looks like you're in San Diego, but it looks like you're in Bellingham too. And, he started asking me about what I did and how I did stuff. He said, I'm going to send you people. And he did. And so, and other people finding me on the internet. And Jen was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm doing this thing. The thing is, he was reading from a website that had been turned off. It wasn't even on the internet. And he was reading from a website from San Diego, but he also knew I was from Bellingham. So it was getting really magical. So I'm going to stop this recording and then we're going to go one-on-one with everybody and do that peace process. Because when we do it in a group, it's really, really powerful. So we used matrix energetics to tune into this place in whatever you want to call that, the universe and the field and information, that where you already have what you want. We did the matrix energetics. It's done. And now we're going to do this peace process together because it's so powerful in a group. So I'm going to turn off the recording.